This is Team South Africa rushing into a meeting of G20 finance ministers and central bank governors where the issue of job creation was front and centre.
Issues of unemployment that we're confronted with as a country and as emerging economies are at the top of our agenda. So inclusive growth becomes, part of our agenda, collectively. And as we move on, also we are beginning to look at what are the key areas that we could actually find each other.
He warned of headwinds, a possible trade war in light of unilateral protectionist policies, managing the national debt at sustainable levels, and stabilising the country's state-owned enterprises.
If you look at ESCOM, which is our largest drain on the fiscus in terms of the guarantees, but at the same time looking at how the company itself continues to execute its mandate. And you now have a new board, you now have new executive, and all the people involved in corruption are beginning to face the consequences. All of those things are happening in a very short space of time. But that's putting in place the right fundamentals before you move on.
This as global growth remains strong, which could benefit South Africa's prospects among other fundamentals, at least according to the country's Reserve Bank governor.
Yes, we are growing below the global average, but do you know what? We had to revise our growth of 2016 higher. The growth in 2017 surprised even the most optimistic, coming out at 1.3%. We now have had an economy that has been growing in excess of 2% for each one of the three previous quarters. So the momentum is setting in. Confidence has returned to the South African economy as politics had stabilized, and looks like we are also beginning to have policy certainty. And because we are beginning to have policy certainty, business confidence has risen, and with rising business confidence, that would mean that investment could take place.
With policymakers here more enthused about South Africa's prospects, prompting investors to take a second look. Sherwin Bryceby's SABC News, Washington.